This
All
meeting is
right.
being recorded.
Okay, I've got it. So we can't, we could do the pledge.
801 or 802, whatever it is.
Have we got a flag?
No,
No flag?
not a flag. I don't know where we put it. All right. Yeah, no flag today.
No flag. All right, we all know the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
for which
it
it
stands,
stands, one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Diane, do you know if they ever got the minutes straightened around from last month?
I do not. I just know what I had received.
Okay,
Now, if those were ever, we can't adopt them anyway, but I don't know.
no, we can't. We just need to make sure that they're accurate when we do get around to adopting them, because as we know, there were a lot of questions.
Right.
I
I wasn't there, so I couldn't vouch for any.
know that. I know
Yeah.
that.
The thing I had brought up was for the annual meeting. I'm not
Right.
sure how that stands. Can that be amended if there were any?
Oh, yes, I think that's easy enough to do, but we can only do that again at the next meeting. And the amendment would be that we had the wrong names on there, right?
I believe so, yes.
So we could just speak to that. Possibly, Diane, you could write up a statement that we could vote on at the next meeting, saying that we will need to rescind the previous vote and have a new vote on the trustees.
Okay,
How does that sound, everyone?
That sounds good, yeah.
okay.
Because
And
it's
revote.
clear and then everything from then on would be good. Right.
Okay. I
All
will
right,
do.
so then the next thing is public comment. Does anyone have anything to say? Anybody who's on Zoom or in the library? All right,
How many members of the public are up there?
Oh,
Four.
four.
Okay, great.
If anyone of the public is talking but not showing camera, you are muted.
Oh, right.
All right, yep.
is there anyone speaking that I'm not aware of?
No,
All right, then we can move forward. All right, Amanda, director's report.
all right, so as usual, I'll provide some highlights, and then if you have any questions about anything, I'll be happy to answer them. You'll notice now that there is a 2022-2023 comparison on a lot of our stats. I thought that was important for us. I feel like we're finally at a place where they're comparable. I know in previously, the board has asked me to do comparisons of the previous year, but I felt with COVID, it wasn't a true number. So I feel like we're there. So you'll notice the numbers are up significantly in several occasions. Attendance for both children and adults is up. Usage of our community rooms is up. Circulation is up. Printing remotely is doubled. So there's a lot of areas where things are increasing significantly. With regards to the circulation stats, you might notice that there is a decrease between card holders from 2022 to 2023, but there was a purge. So RCLS does a purge every year of non-active users. So even with that number, we really got ourselves back up there. I think the purge was over 1,000 card holders. So it was a significant increase to get them back up. So we, don't be alarmed that you see that number going down, even though everything else is going up. This month, last month for Year of the Arts was mixed media. Our community mural, I thought, went really well. It was a nice mix of staff and patrons. I'm also really excited to share that the Year of the Arts Committee conference proposal was accepted. So we will be presenting at the CENICON conference in April.
Wonderful.
Very excited about that. The press release was in the Photo News. It got really great exposure. I thought that was really nice, talking about Year of the Arts. I continue to send our flyer to the school district. I don't know if you received
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Good.
another one, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I saw Marlon in the Year of the Arts article too.
Oh yeah,
With artists.
yeah, with Olivia and Abby.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's good. This month we're celebrating poetry. Poetry is a hard sell. But the kids seem to be enjoying it tonight. They did poetic frames. Adults, it's just a hard sell. You know, it's really hard to get them to come in. We did have 2 poetry programs set up, but we ended up canceling because there were just not enough interest. And the people that the women that do it, they understand. They're like, we know poetry's not a big thing here. We get it if you have to cancel. We tried to work with them last year too.
Maybe poetry and something.
Yeah.
Poetry and food.
Couple it
Poetry
with
and-
something. Right. Yeah, food is always a draw. But we are offering 2 interactive displays to promote poetry, Poem for Your Pocket, and the Blackout Poetry, which is in the adult section over by the computer banks. A few exciting things going on with our CLS that I thought was worth sharing. Our public-facing catalog is getting a complete redesign. So
Oh,
Sue, myself, and Jerome attended the first training last week, and it talked about like the look and feel, and there's so many different customizations. We could make our own staff picks right on the front page. The colors we're going to be able to design. Whatever the theme of the month is, Black History Month, Women's History Month, we can do our own collection of that. New York's bestsellers will be right there. So there's a lot of great customization. This week, we're attending the second training session, and that one's going to go a little bit deeper into like the user experience and how people are going to be searching, and also how to populate what they're calling placards. And what that is if you're searching for poetry books, if we have a flyer uploaded about poetry, our program is going to pop up in the catalog saying, oh, they're also providing a program in poetry. So it's going to be really, I think it's going to be a really great, interesting way to gather people and get people excited about the catalog. So that's going to be rolling out in April. Rosetta Stone is also being phased out through our CLS because their app is just not user friendly. It's really hard for the patrons to use. Our CLS tried to talk with Rosetta Stone to see if they were going to make improvements, and there was none. So we're going to be switching possibly to this other service called Mango, which will be introduced in the fall. We did have some staffing changes over the last month. Lorelei has left. She is moving or moved to Florida.
Florida.
Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jacksonville.
Oh,
Yes.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
The last topic, if I can suggest, I don't know whether we have any say in it at all. Duolingo is also another app.
Yeah.
that A lot of people find.
I think they did like a comparison, and like they have like a standard. So like things are not set in stone yet with Mango because they have, our CLS has adopted this privacy commitment for how information is stored and collected. So they want to make sure that they meet their standards, and if they do, then they're going to go with Mango. So yeah. Yeah. So Lorelei has left. We're very sad to see her go. We're very happy though that Kristen has accepted the position to become full-time. So she started full-time position last week. To replace Kristen as a part-timer, we have hired Barbara Sikorsky. She is a huge library fan, comes to a lot of our programs, is a huge library lover. So we're excited to have her as our part-time circulation clerk. She's starting tomorrow. We can't do the tax cap override because we don't have a quorum. That's okay. We can do it next time. What else did I have that I wanted to mention? Just a few miscellaneous things. I did send out the poll for the board training. I'm still waiting for 2 more people to submit the poll. And I think if they submit what dates work for them, it might change the impact of these dates. I know you had emailed me, Carol, about the timing and the days of the week. I mean, I can send out another poll. These were just dates that I picked like
I
You
know
know?
on some of the RCLS days were always like Tuesday evenings.
Right.
And I worked till 8 on Tuesday evenings,
Right.
so they didn't really work for me.
Right.
But I know there's alternate times I can,
Yeah,
do
well,
different trainings,
you work
so.
Tuesdays and what? Thursday
I-
evenings?
Mostly Tuesday 12 to 8, so.
Okay, so the,
what-
the the 3 trainings that I'm proposing is February 23rd is a Thursday, which was popular, and
What time was that?
was at 7. And February 28th is a Tuesday, and March 2nd is a Thursday. So I was looking for 2 dates because I could break up it into two sessions where I can give you, you can get 2 hours, the 2 hours that you need.
I could do the March date.
March
the
2nd?
Yes.
What about the 23rd?
Uh,
I'll resend the
February
poll.
23rd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm
Okay.
going to mine.
You're
All right.
killing me with the Thursdays. There's
I
always
mean,
a get together down here every Thursday
Oh, okay.
night.
All right. I mean,
Thursdays-
Thursdays seem to be really bad for me too.
all right. I mean, I can do a Wednesday. I don't have. I mean, I can send out another poll if Wednesday is a better day for people. I don't. I was just picking days. I really don't have a stake in any of this. So, I'll send out a poll with new dates.
I guess I mean, that was one of them.
Right. Okay, we'll figure it out. So I wanted to read some of our We Care What You Think cards. We got a lot this month. Great selection. Thank you for the hot chocolate on Saturdays. We started doing hot chocolate on Saturdays. Everyone seems to be loving them. I think you should have more. I don't know what. ACT, I'm not sure what they're trying to say. I love that you have sign language and to read books. That's a kid. I love the programs and librarians. I love to read. Omari Lynn. I think that there is nothing to change. The library has good staff and amazing atmosphere. Madison. I love the library because it's a fun place to read. I think you should have cooking classes. Please consider unlocking the book drop when the library is open. Other libraries have theirs open. It's inconvenience to come inside. We got 2 comments like this. I'm thinking it's the same person. The handwriting looks pretty similar. I think the thing with that is that some of our patrons don't realize, why we keep it open, close it when we're open. So, I mean, if this becomes a trend, maybe we'll say something about it so that, people get an understanding of it better. But, we don't want the staff to be constantly going outside all day to have to, empty the book drop. It's also a way for them to come inside and grab a calendar or talk to a staff member.
Another book.
Right, take out another book, see what else is new. I think some of the other libraries, Melanie was saying today that some of the other libraries have that the book drop is inside their libraries
Oh,
and not
sure.
outside. So that makes a difference. So that was, that response. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this to see if there's a trend and more people requesting this. And if there is, we'll address it in some way, maybe in one of our email blasts or something like that, just providing an explanation. I think that's it that I wanted to highlight. Did anyone have any questions?
Yes, actually, it's a comment. Just so you know, the Sci-Fi Book Club did have 2 people attending both times, not 1. We had a
Okay.
person who was participating on Zoom,
Okay.
and the one person who came in. I hope we start to do a little better.
Okay.
Well, actually, Netta, okay, you ran it the first time,
Right,
And it
you were
was-
there,
you and me and Fred.
and there was a
right?
woman who she came in late because she had some technical difficulties,
Right.
but she was actually with us the whole time when John and I ran the second one. And I got her to talk that time. So I got her to participate.
So the thing of it is, the first time, there were actually 3 participants because I'm there as a member of the community.
Right?
not as a staff or library board, because you and John are running it. So the
Right.
first session, there were 3 participants. In the second session, there was that Fred there and,
Uh-huh, and the same woman,
all right, so you had 2 because you and John were running it together.
right.
So it is going because you've got 2 consistent members, 3 if you count me.
I count you.
All right, so there you go. It's an up and coming program.
Oh, boy. Well, I am actually excited about the next book, but,
Which is what, Detta?
Sea of Tranquility.
thank you.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of the books in today from the other libraries, and I'm gonna submit the marketing form to Elizabeth, and she'll start to market it to the community,
Great.
so that they can start to sign up and come and grab the book and read it.
When is it?
It's might be worth noting in the publicity material that it's the same author whose other book, Station 11, has been converted to a TV show,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I don't know if the show is actually out yet. I haven't seen it.
Mm.
But that book is really long, so I always think we're better off going with a book that's not gonna be 500 or 600 pages,
Right.
which was the book, like the author that Fred was suggesting, the book was very long.
Dune.
No,
Oh,
no,
Dude.
that's Dune's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess our point is, Netta, that it's up and coming. Don't
Yes.
write us
We'll
off.
keep plugging away at it for a while.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
Amanda, I
Yes.
wanted to say, I think that Amazon wish list on the website is a terrific idea.
Yeah, we're really
Yeah.
excited about it. We're still trying to put some more things on there before we go live with it. But I think, if someone's feeling generous and that they want to buy something specific for the library and feel like, oh, I contributed to something that they really want, it'll get people excited about it. I know when I was at NYLA, someone was talking about this and someone said, oh, someone just bought everything on our wish list. They just bought
Wow.
everything.
Well,
So,
they do that. They do that for the Woodbury Animal Shelter, and it's very successful for them.
Yeah. So I want to do a lot of, right now it's a mixture of high and low point price items. So you never know.
Right.
You're gonna be with the price.
Well, there should
Yeah, and I
be
think it'll
there should be a sign, a physical sign at the checkout desk in the library.
yeah. I also think it might be something for the friends in the future. If they're looking for something to fundraise for, big or small, they have a
Yeah.
list of things to pick from. So
Good.
that's also helpful too.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yep.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
no? We ready to move on to the treasurer's report?
So, check warrant, all was good to go as usual. From a financial report perspective, Amanda sent out the reports that were still pending for November, December, and January. Everything was resolved with regard to the reconciling item that was outstanding.
It's
Regarding
okay.
the immaterial reconciling item that was like $400, that I believe was timing for a payroll expense, was it not?
No.
The $400?
No.
Do you remember what it was? Oh, it was for the mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a balancing adjustment, but immaterial to the overall aspect of the financials, and anything follow-up related to that, I'm sure the auditors will take care of when we do close out adjustments, but again, immaterial for everything. We can't vote on them,
Right.
obviously, because of the lack of quorum, but once we do have quorum at the next meeting, we'll be able to catch up and pass all together. Did anyone have any questions about the financials that were sent out?
No, they look great.
Awesome. just a highlighting point, and obviously there's still some year-end adjustments that have to take place regarding depreciation expense, end of year payroll accruals, things like that get reflected from an actual financials perspective. But just to let everybody know, we ended the year with a surplus. We're in great fiscal health. Kudos again to Mary and Amanda for stewarding the ship and keeping us right-sized and doing everything that needs to get done. And the only other thing I think to that end is the search continues for the bookkeeper.
How's it going?
Not great. We're gonna put an ad in the photo news and see if that makes a difference. Indeed, it's just too broad. We're getting too many people from way too far that are not gonna come for a very small amount of hours. There was someone that we did interview that we were gonna work with her for her hours because she's doing tax returns. So she's been really busy with that. So we were gonna flex her schedule until April, but then she got called for additional hours. So she's unavailable. But if the position is still open in April, I'd like to reach back out to her. She has a lot of
That's
experience.
assuming she doesn't get caught up with extensions.
What about,
Agreed. Yeah.
what about putting up a sign in the senior center?
It's a very good
We could
idea.
do that. We're actually meeting with the coordinator on Wednesday to talk about future and possible collaboration. So I could mention it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, seniors can be very reliable employees, and you might find somebody who's very happy for just a few hours of work.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's very true.
What
It's a
kind of
great suggestion.
academic qualifications are you looking for?
We definitely want them to have an accounting degree, and they should have
Like an
QuickBooks.
associate's or bachelor?
I think you said bachelor's, right, Mary?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's bachelor.
bachelor's in accounting and QuickBooks experience. We don't want to have to
It's a
train people
must.
on QuickBooks.
It's a must.
Right, online, yeah.
So there's no, obviously SUNY Orange wouldn't work, but are there any, maybe New Falls or something where they might have somebody or a recent graduate who.
So we discussed that. We think it's probably best to have someone with a bit more experience than someone fresh
Yeah.
out of school,
Mm-hmm.
or an internship position,
Right.
just because, we are talking about a $2 million budget almost,
Yeah, right.
1.6 million. It's not to say that a junior accountant or someone of that nature couldn't handle the job
Right.
from a book, a simple bookkeeping perspective, but we want someone with a little bit more experience.
Right. Yeah.
But it is something that we did consider.
Yeah, and we did talk about, there were some companies that did reach out to me saying that they do this like as a service. But we don't know exactly what the cost would be, and so it might not be cost effective to do that.
Which we can look into it,
Right.
but just, obviously.
Well, if it doesn't
may-
work out, maybe like if we can't find somebody. that
Right.
might be an option.
Absolutely, and it might be a little bit more expensive than what we're currently paying.
Right.
Salaries, benefits, taxes included. But it is something to explore if we don't have any other options.
Yeah, 'cause the good thing about that is that you can rely on the service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be nice to be able to provide the job to somebody who is
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Local.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of nuances also to it that, an outside service might not.
Pick up on.
Yeah, especially
Right.
if it's a different person each time who does it.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then your questions aren't always as timely answered, and you lose that aspect of being able to manage it in-house,
Yeah.
which, Mary does a fantastic job of right now. We thank her again for picking back up the reins of the torch, while we're filling that gap. So thank you.
Thank you. So no benefits, right? Just part-time, right?
It would be just an hour late.
Right.
But it is a union eligible right now position.
Yes.
And it is a closed shop, so there would still be dues.
Right.
Okay, time to move on?
Nope, not yet. Couple more things.
Okay. All right.
Cool your stroll there,
So
lady.
you did.
Cool your jets. Exactly. So additionally, I did have an opportunity to go down to town hall and sign the contract for the year and get it notarized. So that's been submitted, as well as a document that Mary put forward, so that she can pursue picking up on unclaimed disputed funds with New York State on our behalf.
Mhm.
So we don't know what it's out there, but anything helps. So kudos to Mary for taking the initiative on that. And I got paperwork signed. I actually left it in the car, but I'll bring it in and leave it on your desk tonight. And so other than that,
So, I'm sorry, what form was that you submitted?
so annually there is a contract with the town. Just basically saying there's a lot can be said about whether there's a need for a contract, but ultimately the town requires that a contract be in place that basically we provide the townspeople a service, and in exchange they are collecting our funds on our behalf because we don't have a collections branch. So
Yeah,
that's literally the extent of it.
yeah.
But it has to be signed and notarized each year. It's all been taken care of.
Yeah, Valerie reached out to me. She sent me over the signed copy, and I emailed her back and asked, well, when can we expect the check? So I haven't heard back from her yet.
Usually it's like mid to
Little,
late February. So we
yeah,
should be
yeah,
getting
that's what
it
she
signed
said. They
up.
said in the range of mid to late, so definitely by the end of the month.
Yep, I would say so.
Yeah.
Can you change the language in that contract to say agreement?
I
It is
would
an
very much like to,
agreement.
but I don't know that we are able to change anything. I'm trying.
It's not really contract.
But it says agreement on it.
Does it?
It does say agreement.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
agreement and contract is still the same type of, from a writing perspective,
Right.
I think. But regardless, I've spoken to Brian Nugent, the town attorney, about the legitimacy of a need for it.
Right.
Because we are not contractually obligated to the
No.
town to provide
Years ago, we
anything.
didn't have that.
Exactly, but they just dictated that that's policy for the town, and so that's what it is.
Yeah, it's called an agreement. They call it an agreement on their end, so.
And it doesn't tie us to anything untoward or provide us with any sort of liability beyond what we do right now anyway.
Mhm.
So, I don't have any sort of take exception to signing it by any means. It's just, I agree, I don't think it should be needed. But if they need it and it doesn't hurt us, why not? It's one of those. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else for treasury.
Okay,
I yield my time.
all right. To the gentlewoman on the other side of the screen.
Indeed.
Okay, standing committees, nominating Diane, who I can't see, but I think she's to the,
Over here.
she's over there next to Susan. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you both.
Nice to be. Yeah, nothing going on. I hate to say, but I got enough. And I
Well,
know we have to be for it, but
Amanda
anybody
and I
has
were
any
talking,
great idea?
what'd you
what?
say, Diane?
I said, open to any bright ideas.
Well, Amanda and I were talking this morning, and I really think she thinks we should put it on the website, and I think that's a good idea. We have a form. We're talking about getting more trustees. We have the
Right.
2 seats. We have the form to fill out so we can assess people's interest. But I think if we can try and determine people ourselves and approach them, it's probably a much more successful way of doing things.
Well, the 2 that did put their names out never responded, and yeah, I don't know where to go with that. So, excellent idea, putting it on the website. I think as public as we, I don't think anybody would be on the website unless they're,
Right.
want to help. Right.
Yeah.
We don't have too many people who are detractors who are.
Well, I'll just repeat that the library sent out an email blast. And that was how I responded to it. So I still think that that's worth doing again.
Well, that's what we did last time, and we got those few names, and nothing came of it. We could still add it at the bottom of. I mean, it doesn't hurt to add it at the bottom of our email blasts. The library's still looking for friends. Here's the link. You never know. Some might look at it, some might not. I also think I also think if we print it out and put it in the lobby display case, and then maybe one sign, on the desks, that might be helpful as well. People waiting to get checked out or whatever. People are definitely looking at that display case when they're coming in or out. So
So would you do that? Print
Yes.
that out?
How about message fee? On the bottom, message fee.
you could put it at the bottom of message. But again, we're reaching within our community, people who are already using the library, so it couldn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. We need people who have the library's best interests at heart. That's the message.
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay, so nothing more on nominating, Diane?
Nothing.
Okay, buildings and, what was that?
I said I will keep everybody posted if some miracle.
Somebody
occurs.
jumps out of the woodwork
Yes,
or
indeed.
from behind the bush or a bookcase?
I don't know about that. I call the police first.
Good, maybe they'll-
Okay, Susan, building and grounds, any
Hopefully last
information?
When we last talked about buildings and grounds, I was meeting before that, we had talked about finding a contractor to quote and let us know if there are any issues with the external part of the library that need to be addressed immediately to hold us over until we decide what our next steps will be. The question we had last time was, what type of contractor do we need to be looking for that? And I have confirmed it is just a general contractor. They'll be able to do that, which is what we've done.
I've got
so-
one, Susan, I've got one I'll recommend to you.
Just go ahead and email, yeah.
He is a certified, whatever it is, Howdy,
Great.
whatever contractor. And I told Amanda that he said he would come and look at the building. And I forgot all about this, Amanda. I will send you his information, Susan.
Yeah, then
And
I'll
if
contact-
you, pardon?
I'll contact them, yeah.
Yeah, that might be the better way to do it because it's hard to get a hold of him and maybe kind of an official thing would do it. But he told me that he would come and look at it.
Yeah, great. okay.
So it's a good way to get some action, I think.
Mhm. Okay, great. Yeah, and so that's the one thing, that's buildings and grounds. Thank you.
So anything else on buildings and grounds? That's it. All right, bylaws, Terry isn't here, but the new bylaw changes have gone up on the website, I understand.
Yes, they have. I had Jerome update them.
That's terrific. Finance,
So I have been remiss and I did not yet call a finance committee meeting. We will convene soon. I will circulate something and get something out there. I apologize, I've just been swamped with work. In addition to looking at the investments, Mary recently furnished me with essentially it was a binder of old finance policy, like soon to be finalized finance policies from years ago with the old board to revisit. So I'm gonna kind of acclimate myself with it and then present it with the rest of the finance committee. And we'll circle back on that. And I also had an opportunity to meet with Mary and Amanda on the finance manual, on, the bookkeeper manual. So that is in process. And
great. That's something we really need.
And Mary did a great job setting up the outline and the bones to start us off. And we discussed kind of some next steps. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to circle back and take a look at first drafts. And then once we review it, we'll bring that first draft to the finance committee so we can get their notes and incorporate it so that it's kind of a living document. And we're able to, bring all of the updates and ideas to fruition throughout, as opposed to waiting to the end and then having to rebuild.
Yeah,
So we'll do it piecemeal, and Mary did a great job of sectioning it out for what we do weekly versus what we do semi-monthly versus what we do monthly versus what we do annually. So we're going to work on it in sections and get it done piecemeal.
That's gonna be a great step forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want Amanda to know, and Mary and you, that I got documents to fill out from who is it, Amanda? The bank?
Miller. Yeah,
Oh, Chip.
Yeah. And the first round, apparently I overlooked something. They sent them back, and I think I sent them out a week ago, Monday. They came and went out the same day. So they should have all that information that they need now with all the signatures.
Perfect.
That's for the CDs that you're trying to,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
once everything is squared away, Chip will circle back with us and we'll nail down the amount that we're doing and the transfers.
Okay. All right, just want you to know all the paperwork that I was supposed to do is in.
Awesome.
Okay. Finance, fundraising, we don't have anybody on that, so we'll just slide right by that.
Oh, wait, I have a question for you, Pat.
For me,
Yeah.
yes,
Do you want to start working on your annual fund drive letter?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
My
So we can-
raging enthusiasm is
we can-
obvious.
We can come up with a timeline. I'll follow up in an email with you and we can come up with a timeline of when we want to get that sent out.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
I'm dependable, I'll do it. Okay, grants. Diane?
And Diane is, again, I'm gonna apologize, I've been on the road quite a bit. The Dollar General ones, have you looked at them?
So I did look at the Dollar General ones and apparently we don't qualify. You have to be on some type of separate list to qualify. And
Oh.
it was really confusing and I looked into it and we don't qualify to get on this not-for-profit list. So we can't apply to this Dollar
Alright.
General grant.
Why don't we?
I looked at it right when the application opened in January and I don't remember exactly why we don't qualify. I'll have to go back and look, but the preliminary result was no, we don't qualify.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diane, go back and look at those community things again. When I talked to Lisa, which was before Christmas, I think the parameters were going to change quite a bit. They were gonna have a different focus.
Okay,
So that might be worth taking another look at.
indeed. Is this the literacy grant?
You know what I mean, don't you, Diane?
I'm sorry, yeah, I do. I have her contact
Yeah.
info. I do.
Can I just ask, I know that Library Advocacy Day is coming up and this year, libraries are going to the legislature's office versus going to Albany. And I'm wondering if we could have a letter to present to Carl Brabenak and James Scoopus at their offices of, asking for money, saying we need it for projects or whatever. You know how they always say we need a wish list? Give them a
Yeah,
wish
but
list.
they always say they want, like, a filled out plan. I don't
'Cause they
think it's just,
If we tell them that we would like money for the future, so that when we do have a project, they will have earmarked money for us. Like we say, well, we need $10,000 or we would like $10,000. When they get their money, they'll earmark $10,000 for Monroe Free Library. It's just a thought, if that would be the time to.
Well,
present it to
it's,
the
if it's
person.
just a letter, I don't see why the effort shouldn't go into doing that.
Absolutely.
All they can say is no.
Right.
And it could be filled out a little bit more specifically, like in Amanda's paperwork, she refers to making the area with the kids' activities a little bit more kid friendly. We're gonna rent a tent, I assume, again in the summer and have programs out there. So, there could be some of the programs that this money could go to could be this and this and this. So it's not a totally specific list, but it gives an indication that we have ideas of what we want to do with any money that they might give us.
Yeah, which I think is basically what I was saying, that it should be fleshed out a little bit.
Yeah,
And the summer reading program, I would think, with the tent, that's a pricey item. Am I right, Amanda?
Yes, the tent for the summer is expensive. It's also not pretty though. Like, oh, hey, give us
So-
some money for a tent.
And that's exactly
Yeah.
what I was just saying.
Right.
It's one pretty topic that got brought up within, I think, some of the discussions about long-range planning and some of the future ideas for the library that might be perfect for a letter like this is funding towards the immigration center and resources for citizenship.
Right.
Beautiful.
that we
yeah,
were talking
that would be an attractive topic.
We've always said we wanted to expand our bilingual.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
I
our
don't know how to say it, Our
language.
language capacity, so we
Yeah.
can reach out to
Mhm.
someone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that might be something that,
Hmm.
you don't have to be very specific. but
No,
just in general, this is
no.
where we wanna,
It could also be money for assistive technology. We don't have any assistive technology.
I actually wanted to follow up and ask on that. A few meetings ago, we had put like $200 towards additional Alexa devices. Have
Right,
we
yeah.
put those
No,
in?
not yet.
Oh,
No,
oh,
not
that's
yet.
such a shame because we could have bought them over Black Friday and over the holidays. It would have been really cheap.
Mm.
I
we
think
could
it
call it,
doesn't have to be super specific, but
right.
Oh, I
you
just
have
meant
to
in
have,
general.
Yeah,
no,
Like,
no,
yeah.
I mean.
That was a
but-
separate,
Right,
separate topic.
I mean, just in general for the letter
Right.
purposes, you know, they just say, oh, you know, give us money, like,
Right,
you know, but you wanna
yeah.
say like,
Well, some
Yeah.
are we could early literacy program.
right,
Make
Yeah.
it sound media literacy. We could
Right,
Make it
right.
sound a little bit more important
Yeah,
than
right,
just
absolutely.
right.
programming.
you know, I think that, you know, like even with, people giving donations, if they just think, oh, I'm just giving a donation, but I don't really know where it's going.
Right.
But if they feel like it's going to a certain thing, they're more active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Something, as you say, the tent isn't sexy, but something like the second language or, you know, citizen, that's something people can put their teeth into and say, wow, that would really be, you know, what, you
Right.
didn't like this?
Right.
For early literacy.
Right.
For early
We could
literacy.
put remodeled library on our Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
Offer each one of the representatives like their own wing, like this is the Scoofus wing, this is the.
Oh, sure.
Right.
You don't really- you start it
Oh,
all.
only for donate. That's what I'm saying, let them donate.
Get you started on the
You
plan.
will have naming rights, right?
I'd like to have that reverted now.
We'll
Sorry.
give you naming rights.
Exactly.
I want my name on the top.
Are they not doing the big Albany thing this year, Amanda?
No, they're not. They're doing meetings at the legislator offices.
They feel that might be more effective.
Yeah.
It could very well be.
Fun though, to go to Albany
Yeah.
and get to see their offices.
Well, the
and get
energy
to
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It-
feel like,
I always enjoyed that. Just
Why
to
not?
see government in action.
Yeah.
it's too
and-
bad they haven't done that for
So
so
it would be
long.
nice if some people on the board were free to go and take part in that. I don't know who would be, but even to go locally, it would be an experience.
Yeah, the
How are they
schedule is
putting it?
posted
to-
on this website.
Oh,
On
actually,
my calendar.
Yeah.
How are they putting it together, Amanda? Do you just, are people going as a group from RCLS?
Yeah, you go according to your local legislator. I think they have certain scheduled dates with each legislator, and I think you register to have time with them.
Individually?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good because then you can outline your needs.
Right.
And we can tell Senator Scoofus how badly we need a new library with naming rights.
Exactly.
Name will live forever. That feels bad. So how do we leave this? Is someone going to be writing a letter to the representative? What do we do?
I think it probably should come from the board.
Why is every,
I
Why
could
do I-
write, just did some bullet points of what, you want it focused on. I'd be happy to do it.
great.
Thank you, Carol, because, I mean,
That'd
I'd
be-
be willing to collaborate with you, but well, there's a template.
I just want to make sure I'm hitting, the points that,
Right,
are the most
Yeah.
important.
okay.
All right, shall we move on to library operating, Carol?
I have been remiss, using Casey's word, our
Word of the day.
group has not gotten together on the board training policy, but I think we're kind of locked in with the state policy. Is that right, Amanda? Like,
It's a sample policy. There's
Okay.
really not much you have to do. You just have to make
Okay.
sure that you guys are comfortable with it, but that was the
Okay.
sample that was provided. I don't
Okay.
really see much need for any real change in
okay,
it, so.
great. So I'll send that out tomorrow.
Right. Mhm.
And we did, as part of library operating, we did meet with the staff's negotiating team about opening negotiations, and we're waiting to hear from them.
Mm,
No, we're gonna
we
follow
have
up
the-
with
we-
them.
We have the ball in our court.
Yeah,
Amanda.
Oh,
has
I'm
already-
sorry, I thought it was the
Figures.
opposite.
No,
My
it's not.
mistake.
No, just to clarify, we've already started putting together the figures, and we are considering our options at this time and pursuing a few different avenues of responses. Once we have our legs underneath us, we'll circle back with the negotiating committee to formulate a plan before going back to Rob.
Okay,
So we look forward to doing that in the next couple of weeks.
okay, very good. Yeah, my mistake.
Not a problem.
I'll blame it on Florida and whatever I'm dying of, which
God
isn't
forbid.
COVID, I'm glad to report, huh?
Poo, poo, poo.
Well, what was
I'm not
that?
superstitious, I'm just regular stitious.
nice.
You're what?
I'm not superstitious, I'm just
Oh.
regular stitious.
Regular.
He was,
stitches?
that's
Okay.
for the evil eye, Pat.
Right.
The poo poo
And this-
poos for the evil eye.
Kind Ina Hara. Kind Ina Nahara.
All right, you're losing me because I can't.
Yeah.
All right.
All
You don't
right,
speak English? Come. No?
hey, it will good is na helpen.
You're here every month in London.
Let's stick to English.
Yeah. Okay, we're through library operating. We'll go to long-range planning, which is Nikula, who's been doing a terrific job of staying on top of these architects. It's a biggie.
Trying to, and we still have the first architect that just reached out a couple of days ago saying he'd like to come and discuss his costs and break it down and make it
Really?
workable and
Wow.
match to what we can find and all of that. So I was like, I'll keep you in the loop. The same with Terry's recommendation for Dadris Architect. We did meet a couple of weeks ago as a committee and reviewed our second architect's proposal, which I think was around less than 70 for a feasibility study,
Mhm.
70K. And then we just decided to continue to seek out architects. So I think I sent an email, like if you have any recommendations or
Mhm.
information. I think Terry had a couple other names, but I did like that idea of making a public request for what was it?
Request for proposal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
just not sure how you go about that. So we need to kind of
right.
how out what the process is for that.
Mhm.
Is that photo news?
put it in the paper.
And then is there a certain format you have to do when you do that?
We did it with the windows when we did this project. And I think it was maybe a 10-day, people could submit their bids within 10 days. And then we had to respond within a certain number of days if they were chosen or selected.
How'd you
And-
know the timelines and stuff like that? Was that somewhere or just something you came up with?
No, that was somewhere. Yeah, it's
Like,
a
I gotta
standard.
find this
It's
on
a
there.
standard.
I'm trying to remember
But-
it.
Where we put in-
Wasn't that for the installation of them, Mary?
I think we did it for the windows. That's what I'm thinking of, the windows.
But I think it was for the installation of them, wasn't it?
I think it was the purchase and the installation, yes. Yes,
Which would be a different thing.
and everybody had to pay to submit their proposal. I forget how much it was, $65, something like that for a proposal.
And then
And-
we had to open them all at once and
Yes,
whoever,
it was very strict, you know.
You have to open them all at the same
Yes,
time and.
yes.
Yeah.
It was
that
great.
might be something that we better ask maybe at RCLS
Yeah.
about the procedure for that.
I'm sure we have it here. I mean, things could have changed. It's a few years. But I'm sure we have maybe the basics here somewhere in a binder.
So we'll have to do some.
Well, and I'm just wondering, do we need to do anything that formal?
I don't know
If
if I
we're-
do.
Right.
I don't
And
think
then
so.
we'll get to
Locked
pay
in.
to.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
We're gonna get
Yeah.
locked in.
right, yeah,
We have another person from Terry.
Yes.
I think some of us had some other ideas of going up to New City and talking with them about their experience.
With Jim, right.
Still following up with Greenwood Lakes Library and their
Mm-hmm.
renovations, and just our own ideas and asking friends and family and community members
right.
and educating ourselves about the process. So, yeah, I think that we should
Yeah.
have a meeting, and I would say that before next board meeting, I'll put together something this week for us to meet in a couple of weeks. I won't be able to meet President's Week, but maybe the week after.
First, like, end of February,
End of
first week of
February.
March, right?
To do our next committee meeting.
Okay,
We all good with that?
yeah.
Okay, public relations, we don't have any report because Terry isn't with us. Do we have any old business that we need to attend to?
Is there anything with Friends that just had the meeting?
Yes, yep. So we did have a meeting last week with the friends via Zoom. We had 3 or 4 people attend. I think it was 3. And we had discussed the plan of attack. So they're still continuing with their idea of doing the book sale at the yard sale, which is May 6th. So what they're going to do is we are going to send out an email blast to our people who subscribe to the library newsletters updates. And there's going to be 2 donation drop-off dates. March 22nd during the day, March 25th, which is a Saturday. So we're trying to hit 2 populations. And those are going to be the only times people can drop off donations. And the friends will be there to receive the books and sort through them as they come in. So there's less of a burden on the staff of having to collect and find a place.
Beautiful.
So it was really successful, and we did it earlier so that in case we don't get a big number of donations, we could then maybe put it on social media, or maybe we could put it through the town blasts, so that we get enough books for them to sell. They're looking for about 500 books to receive, and then whittle that down to quality books. So we will say in the flyer that we put together, Elizabeth is going to put together, it's going to say, no textbooks, no encyclopedias, gently, no National Geographics, gently used, quality books or whatever, paperbacks and hardcovers. So we'll see. I mean, our email subscribe list is healthy. It's over 1,600 people. So hopefully people will come out and donate. And they're going to be working towards the money from that will go towards helping purchase children's furniture
Oh, cool.
that we're looking to.
Oh, great.
Yep.
That's terrific. I think that's a terrific start.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah, I said-
anybody seen the emails from the Helen Keller thing with Tim Mitz that
No.
they're doing readings
Oh,
and
Yeah, they're doing book clubs. Yeah,
they're
that's
charging.
Yes.
They're charging people for them.
Yeah.
Can't imagine anybody's gonna. wanna
I don't
pay
know.
for
They're
that.
doing it again. This is like the second or third one that they're running. So I don't know.
Yeah, but do we have any idea what people are actually doing?
I don't know.
Just
I
because
don't
they're
know.
doing it again, costs
Right.
them nothing to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't understand people paying to join a book club.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Oh,
the money
because
go-
they're offering food and drinks.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, sure, but that's what you're paying for.
Right.
yep. Well, it would be, and Java Joe's was doing it for a while too. I don't know that they still are or not.
Oh,
Yep,
they
just
closed.
closed.
It's out of business.
No.
Yeah.
Java Joe's is out of business?
Yes.
Oh, what a
Exactly.
shame.
It's because they were relying on your business, Pat, and now you're in Florida.
They were depending on me bringing the books in all the time.
What it was.
Rats.
No, in all seriousness, we are sad to see this.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Killers in the
Disappointed.
part of the Commerce Board, too.
I
Yeah.
thought it was going well. I know people liked it a lot. That's a shame.
No, it's gonna leave a gap in the community.
Yeah.
New business? Anything that needs to be brought up? Good and welfare?
Mark
Anybody
Reland's
got a
going awesome
birthday?
outside of the gallery out there.
What was
She
that,
just had her
Casey?
science fair. She did a project on the Tesla coil
Oh.
and the study of Nikola Tesla. So it was pretty.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
Exciting.
That's
Oh, Marilyn did
Yeah.
a thing,
on the Tesla coil.
woo,
Yeah.
that's darn impressive.
A little trifold.
Oh,
and
cute.
her grandpa got the Tesla coil for her. And
Oh,
then she has the
cool.
plasma ball too. So she got to do some stuff until I dropped the light bulb, you know. That's mom's.
During the fair?
When I was cleaning up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. You're all right then.
That's very cool.
Okay, so it looks like we've covered everything that we needed to cover. And
Just one
that's,
thing on your meeting agenda. It said next board meeting is March 14th.
Oh, that's right.
That's not right.
no,
No.
if you read it, I said I couldn't change the dates.
Yeah.
Should be
March
13th.
13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a mistake, Diane. I played around with it and played around with it, but I couldn't change the dates on the iPad, so I sent
get
a
it.
caveat.
Boy, all right.
So we're all good?
Yep.
All right.
good.
Well, it's a pleasure seeing everyone.
How's
and,
Florida?
It's warm here, Pat.
Yeah, well, it's not terribly warm here, is it, Netta?
No, actually, we're going into the 50s tonight.
We were
And,
50s today. It was the 50s today here.
Well,
Today's-
Actually,
I-
schedule it for us to Florida for next week.
I went for a walk. I went to the beach to go for a walk today, and I saw a couple of people wearing long pants and sweatshirts. And of course, they were Floridians, it was 70 degrees. They're all bundled up.
Well, here I am in my down vest, so don't be laughing at them. And there's a cold wind here right now.
Oh, we had that yesterday. It was terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, I know you're really bleeding for us, right?